Hola, boa noite. Well, actually, it's hola, bon dia now. Another long day. And the Munson's here reflecting with the COVID diaries, day 2 of the state of emergency. And what we've been doing is we've been doing this Pillow Talk, Portugal Pillow Talk podcast, where we're just looking at, reflecting on the day that's been really in these extraordinary, unprecedented times. And we've got a few, the alliterative schedule for today's podcast is peace, panic, placenta, packages,
pickles,
and pickles. Okay, so we may, if we're lucky, we'll get through all of those. But packages, you have got this package protocol.
Yes, I
haven't
do.
you?
Yeah, I don't know if it's what an epidemiologist might suggest or somebody that knows about health and safety, but I guess we've all got to have our little routines and things that make sense to us. And so whenever we get a package, not only do we stand miles away from the fence to receive it, but I spray down all the packages with disinfectant spray that we've made, leave it in the sun or in a hot place so that it can warm up and kill off the virus, and just leave it. And also, obviously, disinfect my hands, wash my hands after, then gradually open it to see what it is, because I've ordered quite a few different bits and pieces, so I can't always be that sure. Spray it again, wipe it down, and just basically wipe everything down like somebody with OCD. So that's kind of what I do.
And you had something interesting sent today, didn't you?
Yeah, it's something I've been waiting for, a colloidal silver generator, which a lot of people would be like, what? What the hell is that? I had one in the UK, or we had one in the UK, and we used to be able to make colloidal silver, which is an antibacterial, antiviral liquid, which is really great disinfectant. Like, they use silver balm and silver plasters, or plaster soaked in silver in hospitals, because it's really good healing. And so I really like to have it. And when I heard about the outbreak in China, I just, and I remembered I'd given our generator away to somebody in the UK. I just thought, we need one.
Just sounds so amazing, a generator.
And I ordered it 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it was supposed to arrive last week. And when it didn't, I began to panic. I sent an email to Amazon, the seller on Amazon, and said, what's going on? Because I'd received a dispatch note, and obviously it didn't get sent, and they'd made a mistake. They thought they dispatched it and hadn't. And then
part of the chaos.
Yeah. And there's absolutely nothing I could do, but I felt really vulnerable, which is a real sort of third world problem, isn't it? It's not really a problem, but first world problem. Sorry.
Well, you've got it now, and looking forward to. And you can do colloidal gold, presumably other metals.
Yeah. Right now I can make colloidal silver, colloidal copper, colloidal zinc, colloidal magnesium, and when we get some gold rods, then I can make colloidal gold. But that was an extra €250.
Is that all?
€250.
Oh, 250. Well, yeah, and maybe if you had sort of 250 quid's worth of gold rods, you might be saving them to use for buying and bartering.
For trading. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so
cool.
Looking forward to that, to the fruits of that machine. So peace. It's so peaceful at the moment. It's certainly one of the upsides of the time. It just feels like that, like another perineum. The bit between Christmas and New Year, where everything goes kind of quiet.
Perineum.
Yeah.
The
thing between. Yeah, but it's a festive perineum as well. I think I said this to you last night. You must have been so tired. Oh, you were falling asleep, weren't you?
That wasn't
during last night's recording, or whenever it was I first mentioned it. But yeah, the perineum moment at Christmas, when it goes really quiet because the world stops, and it just feels the same. I was out with the dogs earlier on, and it's so quiet out there. It's not just lack of traffic quiet. It's like everyone's gone quiet, and the vibe of that in the neighbourhood and in the distance is just like a mixture of eerie and really beautiful. And I experienced it in the middle of the day today, and I fell asleep. Sat in a chair with the puppy, other P, And he can pee, can't he?
Yeah.
He pees all the time. But he fell asleep on my chest, really. So I sat in a chair in the garden, like an old giffer. And I fell asleep. And when I woke up, I did that lovely thing where I didn't know where I was. And I had to kind of remember who I was and where I was, which I really enjoy. And it was so
you're the only
quiet.
person I've ever met that loves the sensation of waking up and not knowing where they are or who they are.
Well, too many people, I guess, have done that on a train drunk.
Yeah, I have actually. I'm one of those.
I tend to enjoy it more when I'm sober. And it doesn't take long for me to reconstitute myself and remember who I am. But I think we all go into the unconscious and we're not, we lose everything. And then when we come back, we quickly put on our personality and our identity like it was clothing. Mm-hmm. And it happens in such a split second that you don't even know it's happening.
Yeah.
But if you're conscious that you're kind of in the unconscious, or you just were in the unconscious and you were completely expanded and you weren't anything in particular, you can just enjoy that split second of that infinite being. I think that's what it's to do with, without sounding like a cosmic JPCers kind of guy. But yes, peace can turn to panic. So you've had a bit of a sense of that today?
Yeah. Later on tonight, I don't know, maybe it's listening to the news and hearing about what's going on in England.
P for parents.
Yeah. Just worrying about my parents. For the last few weeks, before the news really, really broke and panic started, we'd already started to sense that things weren't quite right and had advised our families to stock up and, start taking precautions and start keeping out of the way and this, that and the other. And it just occurred to me that, if I'd built better relationships with my parents, they might have listened to me or taken me seriously. But unfortunately, over the years, I've been banging on about different things, like going on about so much. And I think it goes over their head half the time. They kind of go, yeah, whatever. And it just occurred to me that it was only like 2 days ago that they actually stopped going out.
It's very different though, because we're living in a state of emergency and lockdown effectively.
Yeah, but we're in lockdown and we've hardly had any deaths and not that many infections. And
only 10 million, it's a sixth of the population.
Yeah, but even so, like if you were to compare those numbers and ratio to like the population of London, there's so many more people infected and dying. And, my mum and dad have just recently sort of like been to different parts of the country and, done crazy things like going to pubs and having a haircut and hairdressers cut how many people's hair a day? You just think, oh, bloody hell. And so, my monkey mind was going and I was thinking, well, if there's a 2-week incubation period and if, the over 70s get it bad and they also don't get treatment, shit, they're screwed. Yeah. And it's a really sobering thought because I'm stuck over here now and I like being in Portugal. And I couldn't go home because I don't want to risk
It'll be too dangerous to do that, yeah.
I'm breastfeeding a baby and also a 4-year-old. I don't want to, harm our baby or bring it back into our family. And I know full well my parents wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
But it's just that sobering thought that, you might not see your family again.
Yeah.
And you've got that with your mum, haven't you?
I get it, yeah.
And your daughters, because you've got one in Italy and one in Sheffield.
Yeah. And I suppose what I realise anyway, I'm not trying to, kind of gloss over that or, spiritual bypass it or anything. Yeah. But I think, what we're realising is that everything is in kind of like the hands of destiny or whatever you'd call it, God, fate, destiny. And it always was. It's just that our sense of being able to avoid that or not contemplate that, it was much more easily covered up or not thought about.
Yeah.
And it's being, the fragility and vulnerability of us all and the momentariness of life really is really been brought into focus at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is real, I think. We don't like it up us, do we? But it is real. It's always like that, but we just don't always remember that.
I mean, that is the shocking thing is like we live our lives on a day-to-day basis. Usually, completely unconscious to the fact that our lives could be turned upside down very easily. You know, like, you know, someone you love could just die suddenly in a car crash or have some kind of, you know, just like drop dead, you know, but like you never know when you're going to have that last moment with somebody, or you never know when your life's going to change.
Yeah.
And right now we can't hide it. You know, it's in our face, isn't it? And
well, it's a really good reminder not to be a pillock and be kind and be nice as best as you possibly can to people.
Yeah.
Because that's the reality of it.
Yeah, and so I've just tried to be purposeful, another P. And, you know, we've been getting our homesteading on, haven't we? We've been upping our skills pretty quickly, pretty rapidly. And
which brings us nicely to the last couple of P's. Pickles and placentas.
Yeah.
Which I was going to say aren't connected, but actually in a strange way they probably are, aren't they?
They kind of are, actually.
Go on.
Well, I've made a load of ferments to make up...
What's the woman who talks a lot about her vagina and sells the essence of her vagina?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
You are definitely the Gwyneth Paltrow of Portugal.
I don't think
Portugal's
so.
Paltrow.
I don't want people smelling my fanny. No offence, but...
I don't even know if that's what she does.
No, she released a candle that smells of her vagina.
Okay.
Apparently. I mean, I haven't bought it.
Well,
I think it's about $60 or something.
I promise you I haven't either. And I haven't even bought it for you as a surprise present. Can you imagine? But anyway, sorry, I'll have to mark this up as probably explicit content now. But
okay, so
placenta.
Well, when I gave birth to our daughter, and the placenta was okay, I made placenta capsules so that I could re-nourish myself. So I dried the placenta at home, dehydrated it and ground it and made capsules. And I read and learnt from other people that you could keep the cord and you could put it in vodka or brandy to preserve it for a certain period of time. And it's the liquid becomes like a natural, completely bespoke, personalised HRT treatment, you know, hormone replacement therapy. And, you know, I'm a mum in my 40s. You know, I gave birth to her when I was 41. I gave birth to Solomon when I was 43. I'm 45 now. And, you know, in the next 5 years, I'm probably going to start going through the menopause. So I thought, you know what, I'll do that HRT. And so that bottle of brandy or vodka came to Portugal with us. And I was really pleased that it didn't get like busted open when it got freighted over.
Can you imagine explaining that in customs? What is this?
What the hell is this? And I'd even written like...
Did Ricky drive it over?
Yeah, Ricky drove it
Bless
over.
him.
And, you know, like I put double tape on it in case it fell over and blah, blah. Anyway, when our son was born, we had a home birth in Frisianda near Tamar. And again, I got a nice placenta that wasn't ruined and everything. So I dehydrated that one, made capsules and kept his placenta. I thought, you know, the more HRT I can get, the better, you know. And so I've had his umbilical cord in some vodka, I think, in a Kilner jar in one of our rooms in our house. So anyway,
imagine a drunken binge and like that vodka was really chewy. I don't know what was going on there.
It looks like we've killed something.
Red vodka.
It looks like there's some kind of like dead animal.
It does look a bit like
floating pig.
I used to work at a natural history museum and I used to see a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been making tinctures in case we get poorly. Because, you know, the thought of not being able to get healthcare if we needed it. Mm-hmm. So I've been making tinctures with different herbs. And there was one that I hadn't made and I realised it was really important to, which is licorice. And I had some licorice sticks. And
all of this is true, folks.
Yeah. So I thought, all right, let's grab some vodka and start making the tincture. And I looked and we were out of vodka. And so I was thinking, oh, crap. I don't think it's worth us driving to the shops. Sorry, I saw. I don't think it's worth us driving to the shops, you know, and putting ourselves at risk. But I would like some protection. And so I took some of the vodka from Sol's placenta mix and some of the liquid from Minnie's placenta mix to make our licorice tincture. And when I smelt it, it smelled so sweet. And so I had a tiny, tiny sip. And I said, "Oh, love, you should try it because it tastes."
I felt no inclination to join you in that toast, frankly.
I should say it's not pink at all. It doesn't look remotely bloody, but it smelt like eau de vie, like this really strong, almost like what's that apple brandy
Schnapps.
they make in France?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah,
What's it called? It was a really
like a Armagnac, is it?
Yeah, it was a really like beautiful, full-bodied tasting liquid.
Yeah, Christ.
But then within an hour, I started to get that pregnant feeling, like that kind of emotional, insecure feeling.
You took a shot of your own hormones.
Yeah, but it might.
Can you imagine that? A group of women going out on a hen night and like, shots, yeah. They have these sort of HRT shots and they become massively emotional and cause a load of trouble
that might
in a
actually
pub.
be why I've been panicking about my parents tonight.
Yes,
It
you
could
might
be
have
like
given
a
yourself a
follow-on,
taste of your own hormones.
Yeah. But anyway, that will only be broken out in emergencies.
Please
if we
don't try this
absolutely
at
need it.
home unless you really want to and you know what you're doing in some way.
'cause I don't really know what I'm doing, and
for
I'm
heaven's
just
sake.
trying to hack everything, because again, I'm panicking a little bit. Last thing, pickles,
Yes.
because got to make our vegetables go a bit further, because we don't want either of us to go and risk ourselves in a shop necessarily. Do you? I mean, you're a bit more relaxed than I am about it. I think I'm coming across as a bit neurotic, maybe. But anyway, we've got a ton
Leave a comment for folks.
We've got loads of vodka, not vodka, garlic, ginger, chilies, and all sorts. And so I've been making pickles today, like lacto fermenting. So that's what I've been doing.
Incredible. So
There
the
you go,
pickles,
I think there are
so as well as
peas,
the kimchi that's been going on the go, which has
sauerkraut.
been delicious, and sauerkraut, loving that as an accompaniment to the rest of our food. Got the pickles on the go now. Pickled eggs tomorrow, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Love to have pickled eggs. I ate 13 pickled eggs one evening as a child in a pub
And it didn't put
back
you
in
off?
the day. No, I had the record, and I remember a lot of my Uncle Raymond and all his drunken friends were sponsoring my impromptu. It was a bit like that scene from Cool Hand Luke, I think, where he eats all those boiled eggs when he's in prison. But I was only a kid, and I just think all these drunken men thought it was funny because he used to get a packet of crisps with a pickled egg in it. It was a traditional sort of thing.
Oh, right.
Really nice pub snack. Packet of ready salted crisps, pickled egg in there. And that night I binged on 13 pickled eggs.
Good God.
Lived to tell the tale.
You know what? Those crazy, like, Japanese
It's
torture
endurance,
programs.
yeah. Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
bit of that. I did it voluntarily and loved it.
I remember seeing one of those where they were just scoffing eggs and like after about 6 or 7, I think they're all vomiting because there's so much richness. It's really hard to do that.
All right, well, I may recreate that and we could do it live on a podcast sometime.
Well, maybe once we're not in quarantine and we can get eggs.
And medical attention if needed.
I don't really
I don't want to put an added burden on the health service, so I won't do that. I'll withdraw that idea. Okay, folks, take care, sleep well, stay
Leave
safe.
us your stories, like what
what are you doing?
crazy tinctures are you making?
If any. Are you selling candles that smell of your vagina, for example? Let us know. Or any other part of your body. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye for now.